Hi, hello, and welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe Show. We're going to do a little thing for Fat Tuesday today. Sound
Take
good?
you all the way down to the magical city of New Orleans, where shrimp and grits and Mardi Gras
You ready?
will greet you with a warm embrace. Take it home, brother. There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun, and it's been the home of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sewed my new blue jeans. My father was a gambling man way down in New Orleans. Oh, mother, tell your children not to do what I've done, to spend what's life in sin and misery in the house of the rising sun. It is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun, and it's been the home of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm one.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
It's Mardi Gras Tuesday, and we're going to be doing some things a little bit different. We're going to try to be creative. I don't know what the hell we're doing. Let's put it that way.
We'll find out as we move along.
As we move along. But
Your bell is there. You're good to go.
I'm good to go. That song, Rising Sun, that was done by the Animals, was taken when Mr. Dylan wrote it, and then the Animals recreated it, and they blew it up, #1. And that song is about a drunk in New Orleans. And during the Vietnam War, the soldiers took that song in because they felt like they were punch drunk in Vietnam. And my brother, that was his favorite song, one of his favorites, I should say. And he played this like Josh did with the guitar. And he thought he was Santana. Harry was good with the guitar. And that song had a big significance to all the vets of Vietnam. It was like a cry for, let's end this nonsense over there. It's kind of funny we play that today because I look at the news on the Ukraine and everything else, and sometimes I feel like those poor guys are probably feeling the same way.
I think you're probably right.
But I want to thank Braxton and Josh for putting that together. Their version of it was kind of cool.
How do you like Bax's outfit?
I like
I
it.
feel like every time I turn around, I see a hat. I feel it's you and it's Baxton, so it's kind of cool.
I like it. I want everybody in a hat.
We're
I
gonna
want to
get
have
Abraham
it.
in a hat now.
His
ever
head
wear a
don't
hat?
fit in a hat.
Your hair won't fit in a hat.
It won't fit in a hat. When are you getting it done?
When my mom comes back.
I'll do it for you. I'll shave it all off.
You're gonna
Military style.
braid it up.
No, shave it off. Military. Like I did with the other kid. What's his name?
One day everyone's gonna walk in and look like you.
Well, he came in like this. His hair was all puffed up. I said, who is that?
Happy Tuesday, happy Fat Tuesday, everyone. We got to celebrate New Orleans a little bit cafe style, so we'll see what's rocking and rolling. Nice job, Josh. This morning was our first live episode of Cooking Up Chaos. They did some Cajun spicy crab dip,
And they did it live. So things can be done.
which is pretty
The
impressive,
the
right?
magic of
Have you
yeah.
tried it yet?
I tried it.
How was it? Spicy?
Very
Crabby?
very crabby.
Was it Cajun crabby?
Yeah. I mean, somebody I dated once. Very crabby.
You always choose so wisely.
Lynn, did you try it, Lynn? Did you try the crab? Well, you got to try it. There's something funny about the crackers, though.
They smell funky.
They're funny smelling.
I opened them up and I went, ooh, don't eat these. And Bailey says, yeah, they're fine.
Braxton, where'd you get these
I
crackers?
think next door.
Where'd you get these
Those
crackers? They're called barefoot crackers. Now I know why.
Maybe that's the lime flavor in them. I don't know.
Try one. You be the judge of it. No? You don't
All
want to
it-
go into the
all it
Twilight
takes is
Zone?
Mom to say, don't eat it. Here's what Mom says, don't eat it. Here's the test. Bailey eats it.
Baby, don't
Bailey
stop
does
eating.
Not take warning well. Do not eat this. Oh, it's fine. It's a little stale. It's a little tastes funny.
Bailey,
It's all good.
Bailey is the warning for today.
But Bailey's back.
Do not stand next to Bailey when she eats.
But we had a nice morning show. We hung a little bit of new artwork in Studio B.
I
Changed
see you
the
making
set for the
things
morning
moving
show.
around. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what happens when you get inspired?
I don't know what happens.
Things move around
Why am
a
I
lot.
tearing?
You've been doing that all day.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know, but this, I sent this to the crew the other day. Mr. Swindell's Traveling Peculiarium.
What?
Anyone ever been to this?
I didn't even know how to
Do
pronounce
you remember
that.
you talked about this, Josh, the other day about the Circus of Oddities? They have one right here in Meisner Park.
Yeah. They got one right here in this building, but
The
that's a
great
different
Mr.
story.
Swindell's Traveling Peculiarium.
How much is it?
Here's 10% off with this code. It's the February 16th through 26th, so it's just through this week under the Boutique Big Top at Meisner Park. So
We should have gone today.
we can still go. It's through the whole week. Dr. Elixir's Drink, Ori Garden opens 1 hour prior to showtime.
And you
I
know,
think we should go check
you
this
know what
out.
those elixirs are, right? Those are things that medicines that were supposed to be drunk so that it took off anything you had. It cured everything. Got
I
you
wonder
drunk,
what
but
an
it
Ori
cured
Garden
everything.
is.
What?
And drink Ori Garden. Anyone know what an Ori Garden is?
It's a drink.
Drink Ori Garden?
Yeah.
If they start doing that sword thing where they stick it down the throat, I'm gone. I can't.
Well,
But
they
you
teach
like
you
the
how to do
oddities.
that. They teach you how to swallow a sword.
I think it's kind of cool. Have to see they've got the contortionist and all kinds of things here.
What do you think, Jimmy? We can get Josh to swallow a sword?
The Tangled, it looks like a lot of acrobats.
It's like a circus, Dawn.
But why is it called the Traveling Peculiarium, which means it's
Because
a
they
little
got
about the
3-headed
oddities.
cows, they got 2-headed ducks, they got frogs with 6 eyes. You know, they're just
It's
oddities.
the oddities.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes
I
me
used to
laugh about
belong.
the oddities in Boca Raton is sort of like
I used to belong to one of those.
an oddity.
Yeah.
So what's today? Today's the 21st.
All day.
So we still have a couple days to check this out. So
How'd you
people-
get that?
I got it in the mail at the house. So I wanted to bring this in, so I thought this would be fun. We could go check it out maybe one day this week.
Let's call them.
Gonna send Abraham over to get some B-roll on this.
Now, this is what they make movies out of. You
It
know?
makes me think of Baxton. What's that movie that we like so much about the circus? The Ringling Brothers.
Well, this is why there's a big tent at Meisner. It's underneath there. Oh, I know exactly what this is.
Exactly.
Oh, interesting.
The
Lynn, you
Biggest-
ever been?
The Biggest Showman. The Greatest Showman. Great movie. You wouldn't like it, but it
I
was
saw
great.
it.
Did you
Excuse
like it?
you.
Did
No.
You like it?
Sleeper.
Love. I knew you didn't like it.
That's
Loved
about
it.
Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey
Yeah,
Circus.
but it's a great story. But the oddities.
Do you know when I lived in New York, they had to bring the elephants across from New Jersey, and they had to do it on one of the bridges because they were too big to bring by truck. So they used to walk across the bridge. I was first one there.
With the elephants?
Yeah. Smelled like a zoo. This is fun. I think we make a phone call.
I think.
Josh, what do you think? Oh my God. What is that?
It seems like Fat Tuesday has begun at the cafe.
Fat Tuesday,
That's
I
how
thought.
you know
Yeah.
Teddy and Josh are back. Teddy,
What?
you want to tell us what we're drinking here? Oh, I wasn't going to do it yet. Oh, we're not doing it yet? All right, we're just setting this up. We're going to set this up, and then we're going to go talk to our friends. We've got Zaya Degaya. Is that really your name?
It is.
That you were born with?
No, I changed it, but Zaina is.
I'm sorry, Zaina. I don't know why I
Zaina
always
the
call
what?
you
What is
Zaya.
it? What
Zaina
is the
Degaya.
proper name? Because what's
Like
it?
Dana with a Z.
Zaina?
Why do I always call her Zaya?
Everybody wants to call me everything. Zina, Zaina.
I
Z
wanna
is
call you
good
Zaya
too.
Degaya.
Give some
and
to her,
you're
yes.
calling
She
me
wants to try
Zaina. And I call you again Zaya.
I like Zaya. It's kind
Zaina.
of cool.
Zaina is so cool because she did this henna for me the other night right after Lynn's show. So after editor's desk, we brought her back to hear her story.
She is mystical.
I know. There's a lot like an onion. You got to peel away the
No,
layers.
she's not like an onion.
Like you peel
That's
the,
not mystical. That's sad.
you
That's
peel,
tear.
no. You peel the layers away to get to
What's
the
so
heart.
mystical about that?
The layers of an onion. Didn't you ever see Shrek?
Yeah.
Shrek? No? Like we told
That's a
you.
different version
Happy
of Shrek.
Tuesday, everyone. All right, are we doing a shot before we go to commercial break, Teddy? Or are we waiting?
Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second.
we're
Wait a
waiting.
second. Do you know that you get to drink this thing 1 hour before showtime? You didn't finish reading that.
I don't know what that. It opens 1 hour.
It's
prior
an
to showtime.
elixir. So it looks
An
like a
elixir?
beer. Looks like a beer you drink. Probably a beer. And before the show starts, you get to drink.
We're gonna have someone. Maybe Abraham can check out the website and see.
Abraham
what he has-
doesn't drink.
But he can check out the website for us.
John, do you drink?
Something like
He
that.
says to me, I gave up drinking, and then I ran into my brother. It's always he runs into somebody when he gives it up. What are you giving up for Lent?
Oh, for Lent,
You gotta get him a mic.
What are you guys giving up for Lent?
I'll say meat most of the time.
You gonna give up
Meat?
meat?
I don't know about that. What are you giving up for Lent, Josh?
And try to
No,
stop
Chelsea, just take the one from the couch, please, and the one on the other side. So we'll move them around that way.
Do you guys celebrate Lent?
Is there any more of those flyers?
I brought it from my house,
can see it.
but
We
we
can
can
take a
certainly
picture.
look at the
Take
website.
pictures,
I
we
put it
can
in
go.
the I put it in the WhatsApp. the
Lent?
other
So you
day.
celebrate Lent? Lent. Gives Lent, Lent.
What
I
happened?
actually don't. I used to, but I love celebrating the end of religious holidays, but I don't
Why
celebrate the
end
beginning of
versus the
them.
beginning?
Well, because at the end, then you can just go back to normal again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I basically don't celebrate religious holidays. So,
Oh, okay. So you just like the end of them. So
well, yeah, because that's when everybody goes
Goes
back to
back.
who they really are.
So what you do is you don't celebrate them, I think is what he's trying to say.
correct. I was waiting for this whole poignant thing coming from Lynn as to why he waits. Right, Zaina. Like I'm waiting for him to say it because the end. It's like the best 2 minutes of the football game is the last 2 minutes. So I was waiting
Who
for you
told you that?
to me. Facts.
Not this past Super Bowl.
No, don't listen to
Facts.
that.
Best part of the football game. The last.
That's
2
like saying the
minutes of
best
game.
part of drinking is the last sip of your drink.
True.
No, it's an adventure.
What's the best part of the end of your marriage?
That's different.
The end of your marriage.
That's different. That thing started out wrong. So it was the whole thing.
Right? The best part of that marriage was
I
the
should have
end.
gotten married in Mardi Gras. Because then if I broke up, who cares?
All right, we're going to take a commercial break.
Wait, Lynn has something to say.
I was just going to say that it would be really nice if people made as big of an investment in their marriage as they do in their wedding.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say if they're divorced. Yes,
But that does
too.
happen, Lynn. When you get married, from past experience, it cost me lots of money during, before, and after.
It's cheaper to keep her.
It's cheaper to say, we don't need to get married, just how you do.
I think things have changed. I don't think people are getting married as I get ready to go to a wedding next month as often.
Well, people are getting married, they're just not elaborating it as much, but they're doing it in other states. So the whole family is here. Let's get married in Wichita. Why? Because we can.
We can.
And your family's going to Texas. Why? Because they can.
Correct.
Can I marry
No.
my guy buddy just for the benefits?
You want to marry your guy
What
buddy?
benefits?
You can marry anybody you want.
Oh, okay.
What benefits?
What's his name?
I was watching. There's a show called It's Always Sunny, and these two people get
In
married
Philadelphia?
for the benefits. Yeah.
So you're going to marry your buddy,
Yeah.
Well, there's
so you can
tax
have his benefits.
Tax benefits.
Social Security benefits.
Do you realize they're going to check you out? You're going to have all sorts of relations and all that with your buddy.
We'll room together. We'll live together.
But there's going to be more. They're going to ask you.
They're
you
not
know,
gonna like come in the room and it's like, oh, do you guys?
They're
you know,
going to ask you personal questions.
Nobody ever came to my house and asked me questions.
I'm going to tell you, when I worked for legal aid, they ask personal questions.
They do?
Oh, yeah.
So there's this movie called Purple Hearts, and this girl, because she's diabetic, she doesn't have any insurance, so she gets fake married to this guy. And they ask a whole bunch of questions. They check out their whole, like, their room to make sure they have pictures together. Like, they have to, like, you have to sell it. Because if you pretend to get married for the benefits, you can get in trouble for that, because that's fraud.
And they're going to ask you, okay, give him a kiss.
I'm just wondering why.
Are you
oh,
prepared?
wow.
That's fine.
Are you prepared to give him a kiss?
That's fine. As long as there's no like, you know.
It's got to be tongue and
That's what I'm
everything.
saying. That's
Oh,
like-
no, there's going to be tongue.
Why do you guys get 2 shots?
I have no idea what we're doing here.
But look how beautiful this is layered, though, for Mardi Gras.
What is this called?
Red, blue,
It's called I'm Coming.
and white.
What can I tell you?
Do you see how beautifully this is layered? I feel like this is like, I hope you took a picture of this for Instagram because this is beautiful.
I'm gonna make fancy ones for Instagram.
This is,
What is this?
So the layered one is called Captain on Acid.
of course it is.
It's Captain Morgan. Hold on, I want to double check so I get the ingredients. It's Captain Morgan coconut rum. I use coconut pineapple juice. And the splashes are curacao and grenadine.
This is really a shot?
Those are smaller.
Oh,
They're
wait,
supposed to be
that-
2-ounce shots.
Don't sip it, drink it.
I don't think I can do a whole, really?
It's a shot.
It'll be sweet at the end.
Wow, I
because
can't
of
believe
the,
she actually did that. That's disgusting.
It's sweet at the end.
I was gonna say it burns at the beginning because of the alcohol, but the blue curacao and
I
grenadine
like the
makes it sweet
coconut
at the
layer,
end.
so like it goes all the way down. Nice. All right. Wow, that's good. Want some?
And the other one you guys have is a melon ball shot,
Wow. Okay.
which is, so I don't get the ingredients on.
We're doing this one too?
Vodka, sweet melon, liqueur, and again, the coconut pineapple juice.
Yeah, how did you get the sweet lemon liqueur?
Would you like one, Zaina? I'm doing this one too.
She's
I'm
gonna
glad
do.
everyone's
She's gonna do
watching.
both.
Here, I got you.
You got me on this one, Josh? Thank you. I can't drink alone.
Cheers.
Fat Tuesday, everyone. Cheers.
I can hold the glass.
That was good too.
It's got to be bitter.
There's nothing there.
Not bitter at all.
No.
A little bite at the end. The other one was sweet at the end.
Happy
A
Mardi
little bite at the
Gras.
end. Happy Mardi Gras. Happy Fat Tuesday, everyone. We're
You-
going to take a commercial break, get Katie a drink. When we come back, we're going to get into this interview. Let's see about the deep mysteries going over on the other side of the studio.
Deep
888-994-4995. I'm very proud of you. Studio A. Stay tuned. Bing. And we'll be right back.
Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Le Sorel Restaurant, home of the authentic Italian tradition, offers a large menu that consists of seafood, steak, homemade pasta, brick oven pizza, and homemade desserts including a wide wine selection. We also have the best bar in Boca Raton with delicious cocktails, homemade limoncello, cappuccino, Italian espresso, brandy, and other specialties, open every day with a lunch and dinner menu. For more information or to make a reservation, contact lesorelrestaurant.com or call 561-235-5301.
There is no way to ignore it. You hear it on the news, online, from your friends and family. What happened to my money? Whether it got hit by falling stocks and bonds, with the coronavirus, shrunk by a floundering 401k with low interest rates, and is riding the extreme ups and downs of the stock market with political elections. Many Americans are worried about their money and how they're going to retire. Help protect your financial future now and call J.D. Mellberg for your complimentary book from a leading financial firm that shows you ways not to run out of money whether the market goes up or down. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that can protect your money for a lifetime. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits of annuities from hundreds of top-rated insurers, helping you to find ways to get up to 33% more income in retirement. That's right. 2 books, both absolutely free, for calling J.D. Mellberg. Help protect your financial future.
Call 877-643-3015.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Hear the yell, back to school, it's show and tell. With your shoes, now walking loose, climb the fence and books and pens. I can tell that we are gonna be friends. I can tell that we are gonna be friends. Walk with me, Susie Lee, through the park and by the trees. We've done a lot of young love. We will rest upon the ground, thinking on the folks we've found. Safely walk to school without a sound. Here we are and no one else. We walk to school all by ourselves, with dirt all on our uniforms, from chasing all the mountain worms, cleaning up, and now it's time to learn. We clean up and now it's time to learn. Numbers, letters, learn to spell, native books and show and tell. Nighttime rains will throw the ball, back to school, through the hall. Teacher marks our height against the wall. Teacher marks our height against the wall. We don't notice any time pass. We don't notice anything. We sit side by side in every class. Teacher thinks that I sound funny, but she likes the way you sing. Tonight I'll sing and beside my bed, and sugar plums going through my head about the bugs and alphabet. When I wake tomorrow, I'll bet we will walk to school again. I can tell that we are gonna be friends. I can tell that we are gonna be friends.
Having a little fun, you know, it's nice when you guys just ad-lib it.
Yeah, we botched the lyrics a little bit.
That's okay. I know, somebody made them up. I heard that.
Say hello to Cece. Say hello to Frank. He says a moment of silence because Pizza Place is closing in Brooklyn. Let's see what he says to us.
Pizza place is closing?
He says Lenny's Pizza in Brooklyn is closing today. We should have a moment of silence.
Now, you know who Lenny Pizza is? You guys are too young. Remember John Travolta in that movie?
Grease? Be cool.
Not Grease.
Saturday
Night Fever.
Was that Lenny's Pizza?
Remember when he had, how do you eat a pizza? You fold it over and double? He got that pizza from Lenny's Pizza. There's a picture of it, of him in front of Lenny's Pizza. I can't believe they're closing that icon down.
In New York, though.
In New York, in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn.
Oh.
In New York, and that's an icon. Wow, we should try to get a picture of that and put it up in the studio because never again will that pizza, the famous line, how do you eat a New York pizza? You fold it. And you put one side the other, two folds, and that's how you eat pizza.
Ever do that?
All the time.
I've never done that.
All the time. It's the only
Anyone
way.
ever eat two pieces of pizza at the same time?
That's from a movie.
No.
That's for Saturday Night Fever.
I got yelled at the other day.
Why?
I'm on A4, by the way. So I had a piece of pizza, right? And it was too long at the end, so I flip it over, I fold it in half, okay, and I squeeze it, and it was too long at the end, so I bring the tip of it and I flip it inside to make it like a double fold, and I got called psychopathic for that.
Well, you don't have to flip it.
No,
Just eat it.
buddy's in Orlando.
Just eat it.
I did.
You eat it. You don't flip it. You eat it. The funny thing is, in Florida, they use a knife and a fork. I remember the first time I came down here, and they were using knife and fork to eat pizza. I said, "Have you lost your mind?" Well, how do you eat it? And you know, I wear it. It's all over my arms. You rip it.
I rip it. I rip everything. How do you eat pizza? How do you eat your pizza, Zaina?
I'm Arab. We eat everything with our hands.
That's the best way.
Maybe I'm Arab. Maybe that's what it is. I must eat because I think eat everything with my hands is so much better, right? When you just rip it apart.
Really?
Don't you eat the rice with your hands?
No,
right?
you're confusing us with the Pakistani and Indians.
Then
The
that must-
Arabs eat everything with pita.
Yes, pita, pumpkinita, my hands.
but
I eat
pita.
everything, even my feet if it gets in the way.
Have you ever had naan bread?
Naan bread is delicious.
Too delicious.
You make naan bread?
I can make it, but never
Why
made
don't you
it.
bring some in?
I could get you right.
Bring me some in.
All right.
Bring me some of that cultura, some of your culture.
All right. Okay.
We've got Zaina Degaya joining us, and of course Lynn Everard, who I think has moved in, host of the Internet Desk.
How you doing, Lynn?
Who are you? What's your name, by the way?
That's
What's that?
What's your name? Who are you?
Yeah, I don't know. I sometimes I come in here and I forget, but it's okay because then one of you will remind me, and then I'm okay. But
Lynn, how do you eat your pizza?
just I don't fold it if that's what you want to know. But I was thinking, like, you know, there's a field of study that apparently exists that I didn't know about called pizza psychology.
Yes.
Because if somebody can call Josh a psychopath for eating pizza a certain way, like there's all kinds of stuff we don't know about in this world.
You got to eat the pizza crust first.
They did that too. Remember they filled the crust? They filled the crust. Do you know that they say you could tell a lot of a person by their car and how they eat pizza? That's how we did it in New York. You give a pizza pie and you see how they eat it. And you could tell a whole lot about a person, how they attack that pizza pie.
How do you eat a pizza?
Aggressively. I take the pie, I fold it over, and I fold it again, and I eat it like a cluster.
The whole pie?
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten a whole pizza?
Oh my God, yes.
Anyone eaten a whole pizza before?
Come on, you
Queens
guys have
girls
all
say-
done it.
Here's from
But one by
Charlotte.
one.
Queens girls say fold your pizza at the crust, side, side to side, and deal with the pointed part. It's part of the experience.
You know, Charlie, not for
Yes.
nothing, we're
Side
talking
to side of
pizza
the
here.
crust.
Pizza,
The
not
crust, side to
points.
side.
Yeah.
Then you deal with the point later.
Yeah, it's all. Okay, White Castle burgers. How many can you eat?
30.
10.
That's an honest answer. White Castles?
I won't do it.
You won't eat any?
No.
Not one?
I'll eat yours for you.
You can have mine.
Lynn?
I've actually never been to an actual White Castle. I've bought them at the store before, but you know, maybe 4.
Have you been to
and
Crystal's?
4 out of the package. So
There is a White Castle in Orlando's, and I beg Linda, says, can we go, please? 30 I can eat.
I think that's the new headquarters that they just built.
Yep, brand spanking new. They have a machine that runs around and feeds you.
That's
You
crazy.
see anything like that?
Do they have an impossible one though?
I don't know, because I don't look at that side of the menu. I'm the only impossible. They probably do, Josh. It'll probably cost you a whole $2.
Yeah.
Probably more than that. That
30,
is-
how many can you eat?
I don't know. I went to one once.
How many did you eat? 2. Okay, tell me 2, Dately. And you pick that in? Yes.
Most of the White Castle, though, is the onions and the bread. There's not a whole lot of meat on there.
That's why you have to eat them. Can you eat them in one bite?
No.
Yes.
See, I like hanging out with this guy. He
Hang out
does.
with them. Hang out with
I wonder why he can eat it in one bite.
Because I'm hungry.
Oh, okay.
He's a growing boy.
My father, I used to remember my father says, how many are you having, Freddie? Let me get 24. No, Freddie, you're not eating 24 burgers. I said, okay, let me get 12 doubles.
The doubles make more sense because then at least you don't have all the bread.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. The patty's going to stack up on it.
But that's better. Then you're not having 24 buns. At least you're only having 12 buns and 2 burgers.
I used to have
per bun.
large fries, 24 burgers, and a milkshake.
Those were
I was
the
at
days
White
we
Castle
actually
recently
like that.
when I was in
Were you?
California. We
Huh?
drove up to Vegas and we went to White Castle. But
Aren't
that
they
wasn't the point,
delicious?
though.
Delicious, right? And the
Delicious.
ones in the store at the refrigerator and the Publix, it don't make it no justice.
If you put a wet paper towel over it and put it in the microwave and let it come out, it comes out kind of
Yeah,
like
but you have
ones.
about 3 seconds to eat it before it turns
Gets
into
hard.
a rock.
Yeah, exactly.
It dropped on the floor and broke the tile.
I'm excited to have Lynn and Zaina join us because one of the best things about the editor's desk is they do an interview, and they interview their guests about the books they wrote. And then I get to meet the guests, and there's a whole nother side. But this one, I tell you, is like an onion. She's got
Back to the onion. She's not an onion.
She's got the crypto side, she's got the author side, she's got the yoga side, she's got the henna side, and then she's got the mom side. And then I'm sure there's a whole lot more right in the middle of all this juiciness of what you do. And she's a financial advisor.
Of course she is.
And there's so much, in 30 minutes, then you can't possibly get a whole interview in. Right? So we have the benefits of bringing his guests back and getting a whole interview. So I'm really glad to have you back. This henna, as you say, you have to seize the moment and do it. I love this so much. I asked the crew if I could get a permanent one. And they said, yes, we have a tattoo.
Yeah.
And Josh says, we have a tattoo day in the studio.
You know, Josh wants to make the tattoo for you. He's going to give you a jailhouse tattoo.
I'll get the tattoo gun and do it myself.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
They tell me I should put a wand right here in my finger so I always have magic coming out of my finger like Spider-Man.
Now, I wanted to ask about the history of henna.
Of henna.
Of the henna. Do you
Yes.
know the history of the henna?
So I grew up Middle Eastern, Lebanese, which is a type of Arab. We speak Arabic. Not all Arab people are Muslim. I do jokes about Arabic people, so
Oh, this is interesting.
it gets interesting. But henna was not part of my culture. It's not part of Lebanese culture growing up. Now, Palestinians, which my mom is half Palestinian, they do it for weddings, as do Indians, and it's a sacred ritual for women, and that's
henna?
Yes, that's the history of it. I like I said, I wasn't brought up with that culture necessarily. I literally woke up one morning and I'm like, I want to do henna. And I went to one of those Middle Eastern supermarkets and I got a little tube. And if you're somebody who likes to doodle, if you've ever been in class in school and you're a doodler, that's what henna is. So for me, it's a meditation. I'll sit and give myself a sleeve. And it's like Tibetan art. You know how Tibetan art, they make art in the sand? so you don't get attached to your creation. So there you go. Your henna's gone by the time I saw you again. That's how it goes.
By the time, right, then it's time to get
And you will last forever.
No, she did this Thursday night.
Yeah, and it still has the markings.
A little bit.
Yeah, it stays a few days.
But I think it's pretty remarkable. You could do like permanent jewelry. You can do all kinds of great things.
Yeah, super
You have
fun.
some background on you, so you're Lebanese, a little bit of Palestinian.
So yes, I'm Lebanese Palestinian. I grew up in Montreal, Canada. So I came out of the womb speaking Arabic, Habibi, and then I went to school in French. I learned English in the streets or on television, and I learned gangster rap when I was 12. And that's the extent. And I know a little bit of Spanish because I moved to Florida when I was 18. So that's my background culturally. And then I've been in Florida since I was 18. I'm 42, so that's more than half my life. I'm definitely Floridian. Never
You like
going-
it here?
I love it. This
Do
is
you?
heaven. I mean, look, I live on the beach, so if I wouldn't live on the beach, I don't know. Maybe I'll go to North Carolina or South Carolina instead of being here because the traffic is a lot nicer and the air is a lot nicer. Probably the people are nicer. But I love Florida. I mean, we have the ocean, we have the beach, we have the palm trees. And, you know, we make the
You
best
got
out
Hannah.
of wherever you are. And yeah, and you guys are here in Boca, and we have the Hippocrates Institute in West Palm Beach. We're doing all right.
Oh, I'll never forget that place.
We went there one day for a shoot, and he had sprouts.
You know, I the sprout. You gave me grass. I felt like a cow. I was eating grass. Remember? Grass? I said, Dawn, this is grass. No, it's healthy.
You like it, Freddie? The Brussels sprouts.
There was mud at the bottom of it. No, no.
The grass. You like this, Freddie? Try it.
Yeah, try it. I tried
Try
it.
it. It's a good.
Then then we went. She treated me to lunch. Me and the crew. Peppers, more grass, lots of green things.
It's not your thing.
So I have to ask Freddie a question because Zaina talked about the henna as being a sacred ritual for women.
Yeah.
So does that make White Castle a sacred ritual for men?
A what?
Yes.
Does that make White Castle a sacred ritual for men?
Absolutely. You must cross the road of White Castles to get married. Because I'm going to tell you something. When you eat that many White Castles, don't get married the next day. That's all I got to say.
Exactly. Sounds like she's opened a bottle of champagne back there.
The henna I heard was a bridal ritual
Yeah, it is.
that was done in Europe. And they did it to give markings of the bride to be, the wife to be.
Yeah, it's a passage ritual, right, for a woman when she gets married. In Morocco too. Morocco, the henna is very big there too.
There's a lot of elegance with that stuff. What do you do?
Nothing elegant about me. I spilled coffee all over myself.
You don't even have coffee on you.
Because it was spilt in the mug coming out.
Teddy,
No, I'm good.
cut her off.
She cut me off. And what is your?
Give Dawn two more.
You do so many great things. You're a financial planner.
You said everything, yeah. Well, financial planner, and I specialize in crypto. But one thing that we didn't talk about too is the artist, musician, and stand-up comedy. But that's the artist part of me. I do stand-up comedy.
You do stand-up?
I do. I want to bring a show here. It'd be so fun.
Okay, we have to do some stand-up. We've been looking for a stand-up comic. No, we'll put it on the spot.
I
But if she
could
says
do
yes,
my set.
You could do your set.
Yeah, but
All right, let's go to commercial break. We've been looking for this for 8 years.
We
It
could
is
bring-
so difficult to do stand-up on demand.
Oh no, we could bring a show here. Yeah, we could do stand-up. Let's do
Oh, I
stand-up.
love it. I love it. I love it.
I don't know how far we got. I mean, I'm an onion, you know. I don't know if we got that far.
What is it with you and onion?
Layers to her. Don't you ever see Shrek?
Again with Shrek. She says the same thing. Onion, Shrek, Shrek, onion. Onion, Shrek.
I know.
I didn't even know Shrek ate an onion.
Me neither.
Wasn't even in the movie. The onion?
You really don't hang out with in the animated world at all, do you?
I didn't know it was
Welcome to
anime.
the animation world.
I thought those were real people.
Are we really going to do a stand-up set?
I mean, I could talk to you guys about my vagina a little bit. Because as an Arab girl, you know, one of the things is we do have a lot of hair.
Ba-da-boom. We need a ba-da-boom.
So
We need a ba-da-boom.
I mean, one time I let my hair grow
There you go, that'll
out
work.
to 6 inches so I could give it away to Locks for Love. You know how they do?
6 inches, yes.
Yeah,
I heard.
6 inches of hair. And they had the audacity to refuse my hair because they said, we only take hair that's been grown on your head, ma'am.
That's right. 6 inches. Heavy on your head.
So speaking of vaginas, right?
That's-
So
This is like the vagina monologues. Yes. Tell me some more.
This is a great tip for young people because if you're already 40, it's already too late. But any age less than 40, this is a tip I'll give to all of you. Stop holding your farts in.
That's right. Let them loose.
Let them loose. It will not only relax your sphincter, it will relax your face. See, there's a difference. You could look around. You'll see who the free farters are by their faces. And who are the ones that hold their farts? Yeah. I was pregnant last year, and if you've ever been pregnant, you start farting a lot, but then you don't go back to not farting. So I encourage everyone, let that go. Let it go.
Loose. Just don't do it right now.
No. You have to be like, for example, if you're cuddling and you're little spoon, you don't fart if you're little spoon, but you can fart if you're big spoon.
So let me get this right. When you cuddle, you
fart? There's a little
fart?
spoon and a big spoon. I never even heard that terminology.
It's a lot of spoons.
It's a visual.
That's why I'd rather use a fork.
They want to go to commercial? All right, stay tuned. More to come. We're going to take a quick commercial break.
The vagina monologues.
Cece, give us a call. 888-994-4995. I'm glad it's Fat Tuesday and not Ash Wednesday.
That's right. Keep drinking.
We'll be right back.
Going.
In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40 plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come on down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
What would you do if you had a broken bone? You'd go to the doctor and use your insurance, right? What would you do if you had a serious problem with drugs and alcohol? Most people do nothing until it's too late. Your insurance can help you get clean and sober with the assistance of a place like the Detox and Treatment Helpline. Many times treatment is fully covered, so why not use your insurance to treat your addiction problem just like you would if you had a broken bone? And with the Family Medical Leave Act, you're allowed by law to take off time from work, and your employer doesn't need to know the reason. So there are two good reasons. You've got insurance you can use for your addiction problem, and with the Family Medical Leave Act, it's completely confidential. Call us right now and save a life.
Call 855-350-4504. That's 855-350-4504. Call 855-350-4504 now.
Want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call, because the best prices are not online. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner. Call today and get the best price on your next flight, guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back. What's the matter? Braxton ain't got another one in him? All right, so you set
you
it
guys
up
set
and
up
then
and
we'll
let
do it
us know.
after.
In the meantime, we're going to go back and talk to Zaina because she left us. Apparently, our producers. Well, we got to go to commercial. I don't think
wanna
they were
see-
quite expecting that monologue.
The vagina monologue.
Yeah, for a joke. Gave a couple. Which is amazing. So what do you do during the day?
So currently I'm doing the financial advising. I also have a crypto club, so I have people that I educate in crypto. So I have clients there. And then with the
She's on
the
it.
book publishing, I have right now a group of 6 people that are publishing their books. So I'm on the phone talking to people. I live on the beach, so I sit downstairs, watch the ocean, and I'm usually on Zoom or on my phone.
So you do day trading?
No, I don't do day trading.
Do you trade crypto during the day?
No, I don't. I specialize in crypto education and crypto investing. If people want to day trade, I send them somewhere else. That's not my thing.
Okay. And do you do any other type of investing?
I do. I'm a financial advisor, so I talk to people about financial vehicles they can use to retire, save money, pay less taxes, protect their families.
We're just making sure your mic is on. Okay.
So we do put in calls. So do you also teach people that when the market comes down to trade short, and then when it goes up, you're going to trade long, stay in the market?
Yes. Well, crypto, works the same as Forex or stocks, right? It's the same thing. However, it's different. Bitcoin leads the way in crypto, and Bitcoin has something called the Bitcoin cycle. So when you start to learn these things, it's all very predictable in the chaos of the environment, right? Because crypto is super chaotic. I think it's super chaotic because it's a new industry, right? So there's a lot of startups. A lot of these coins that you see that people invest in are technically startups. So if you don't do your research like you would with stocks, you are going to get burnt. And if you don't operate like professionally, don't treat it like you're going to the casino, because you will lose your pants if you do it that way.
And there's nothing worse than losing your pants at a casino, trust me. Been there, done that.
We're donating
Is
it
that
to
an
Locks of
expression?
Love. I can't even tell you.
No, you got to give your pants up because you got nothing more to give. You're done. The guy says, give me your clothes.
That's
Happy Mardi Gras to
Has
you
happened.
too.
It has happened, trust me. Happened on my birthday, as a matter of fact. Up in the one of the places up in
You had
Connecticut.
to give me your pants?
I gave my pants and my shoes. I lost my shirt.
What was it, like strip poker?
No, I doubled down on something. I had 2 aces.
So you
I
lost your
doubled
shirt
down
and all
on
you
one.
had left were your pants and your shoes?
And the lady that was playing cards, she says, if you lose his hand, you got to give me your pants and your shoes. And I was, I was a little bit to the wind. I said, you got a deal. I got sent
And there
home.
it went, going to that.
I got sent home. And it's funny because it happened on my birthday, and I did not register. I did not get my new license, and it expired that day. And the casino would not let me gamble.
Wow.
I had to gamble with other people to put my bets in. It was craziness. My life is a storybook.
Well, I have to ask you a question. So back in the day, was it last year or 2 years ago, we had a Bitcoin show,
Yes.
right? We had...
You still have it?
It was called Hodl On. Yes, because I can't seem to sell it, because when I go to sell it, what's in my portfolio, they won't let me sell all of it. I can only sell the cash value. It doesn't let me sell the investment side.
Where are you investing?
Gemini.
I think Gemini went down.
Yes.
So there's a lot of
Gemini's-
exchanges right now that have gone down, and Gemini. I say I think because I was predicting Gemini going down about a month ago, and I'm pretty sure they've paused withdrawals.
Yes, they've paused withdrawals.
Yeah,
Because
see,
they're
I don't
on
know if
their
you know
way.
y'all know what's been happening with that.
No, I don't want to know. I got out.
I'm good, thank you. Too bad.
I mean, basically, all these exchanges have been running unregulated, like a Ponzi scheme, just like banks do, actually. I mean, it really is.
Well, you know, it gave it away when they arrested the guy in the Bahamas and brought him back in cuffs and chains. So it didn't send a good message. I wasn't feeling warm all over.
See, this
so there's a
guy
hold on
in the
withdrawals.
Bahamas is like, we call him the contagion, because he, what he did is it lacked integrity. He basically ran a Ponzi scheme and took people's money. You're not supposed to do that in any business,
That's
right?
right.
And the SEC has been watching these central exchanges for the last 4 years do what they do, and they have not regulated it. So now what they're doing is they're slapping people on the wrist after it happened, and they don't have regulations in place yet. It's like, I'm arresting you, but I don't have a law yet to arrest you for it.
So we're going to arrest you, and you're going to live in your parents' multi-million-dollar mansion in California.
I'm so done hearing about Sam. I mean, and he's
Until
hanging
we
out.
figure out what to do with
And
you.
they just postponed his date, by the way. His trial is supposed to be September. They've just postponed it, which is nuts. Because, he pretty much stole millions, hundreds of millions of dollars of people's money.
Yeah, but he played within the rules of the game.
No, he didn't.
Except for the part where he lied. You know, Madoff did the same thing as well.
No, wait, he didn't. He was running a Ponzi scheme. You're supposed to show that you have enough money to pay your clients.
But somebody show it to who?
They didn't even do accounting at that
Right,
firm.
but who is he supposed to show it to?
It would have been the regulatory
But they weren't
firm.
in play.
I
You
know.
See, I understand his argument, which is brilliant.
Whose
it's not
argument?
like Madoff. Madoff had to go to the SEC and he lied like a rug. But this guy, he says, well, who do you want me to call? They put me on hold. Let me show you this. Let me show my friend. He's absolutely right because the game didn't have any rules. What it had was common sense.
But it's still in play. You're still working with clients in the crypto field.
You don't have. I've been telling people for a year, do not leave your money on exchanges. I've been ringing the alarm. We've been watching it. The first one that went down, and they've been crumbling. And I've been telling people, take your crypto is not safe on exchanges. Not on Coinbase, not on KuCoin, not on Binance, not on Gemini. None of those. Nothing is regulated right now, and a lot of them, because we're in a bull market, so the amount of money that's in the crypto market went from like 3 trillion to 1 trillion in the last 2 years. So these agencies are showing their true colors.
Yep.
When the money's down, you can see everybody who's been, bullshit people and really using people's money for other things. So yeah, there's other ways to protect your crypto. Crypto is a crazy place right now. One, we don't know where it's going with the government policies and what they're going to do. Two, there's something called a CBDC that's coming, which is a government cryptocurrency. By the way, the CBDC has nothing to do with what crypto is really about, which is financial sovereignty. The CBDC is a way to put more control on every person. It's not about sovereignty. So all these things are coming down the road. Now is a good time to educate yourself, but also sit on your hands and watch.
But take
what's
the
gonna
money out of
happen.
the market.
You can't.
No, you can.
You can't because they're folding.
It's not
10.
letting me take anything
So
out.
there's-
Because they're collapsing.
There's cold wallets and there's hot wallets. Now let me explain something. Bitcoin is not collapsing.
No. Gemini is collapsing.
Now there's centralized exchanges and then there's decentralized exchanges and there's cold wallets and there's hot wallets. So think of like a cold wallet is basically a wallet that you have that is not connected to the internet. Nobody can get into it. It's yours. That's where you want to put your crypto.
That's what you have to do.
Write this down, get a ledger, go to ledger.com, buy it straight from the website, not from a third party, and then transfer, go to YouTube, or you can go to My Crypto Basic, type, how do I move my, crypto from Gemini to a ledger, and do that immediately.
And they allow you to do it, or you have to do it in spurts?
No, you could do whatever you want. If an exchange is still, but Gemini is probably limiting withdrawals right now because they're in trouble.
Yep.
So if you have money and in any centralized exchange, take it out, put it on a ledger, and leave it there for a little bit. The disadvantage of having it on a ledger is you're not going to profit from these opportunities to earn yield on your crypto, to trade crypto, but I'd rather go to sleep at night knowing that my money is safe right now than waking up one morning and knowing it's all gone because those companies went down. And unfortunately, consumers are not aware of this. They think if their money's on Coinbase, it's your money. It's not. If you read the small print when you sign up for the account, they say when your money is on their exchange, it belongs to them.
It's like a Bank of America.
It's
My
exactly
money
like
doesn't
a Bank
belong
of
to me
America.
either. It belongs to them. They tell you when to take it out, how to take it out, if you can take it out, and they're going to charge me for taking it out. So I give you my money, and then you charge me for taking it back.
And they go make money with your money.
And they make a lot of money with my money. And they say to me, oh, Mr. Santori, we can only give you X amount of dollars.
Well, it's like our home equity line. We closed our home equity line when we sold the house, and because we closed it earlier than what I sold the house, we had to pay
a penalty.
We had to pay a penalty because we closed the home equity line. And then they must have gotten in trouble. Then we got a check back last week, a year and a half later, saying we were not allowed to charge you this penalty. So we decided we're going to give you X amount back. So we went, okay, why didn't you give us all of it back? Well, based on our formula, you're not getting all of it back. We decided we're only going to give you some of it back.
Sue them. Sue them.
But what do?
You sue them. You say, hello, judge. Let me tell you my dilemma.
And this was whatever bank it was.
I've been
I don't
waiting
remember.
3 weeks. I have a refrigerator of hell. This refrigerator,
It's been
the
3
devil
months.
lives in it for 3 months.
El
So it
Diablo.
works, and then it stops working. And it works. I'm $17,000 in a hole in this refrigerator because it's the only refrigerator in the world that fits in this hole, right? So I send it out to a company who promises me they're going to fix the part. Not only didn't they fix it, they sent it back and said, sorry, we don't fix this. I said, but you told me you're going to fix it. Long story short, no, we're going to send you the money back, Mr. Santori. Sorry, thank you for playing, right? So I had to put something on Google about what a bunch of crooks they are. I did it this morning.
Really?
This morning, as God is my witness. I just got a check. We're sending out a check. Please remove the Google. No, I'm not removing no Google nothing.
Is your refrigerator working?
Yeah,
Okay.
another company. My 5th
Ah.
company.
Wow.
This refrigerator is a Thermador. This is not a make-believe refrigerator. This is the refrigerator of hell. Now, people are going to tell me it's 20 years old, right? But if you tell me you fix it, and I pay you to fix it, and you tell me 3 days, 4 days, 6 days later, oh, no, we can't fix it. And thank you for playing. They took my $200. It's the same difference. I give Bank of America my money. They said, we're going to charge you interest every time you make a transaction. But it's my money. Then put it somewhere else is what they told me. It's just
Freddie, that
ridiculous.
refrigerator might be your third wife.
I think all of them are living in that refrigerator.
Lynn's got to do some stand-up. You got to get on stand-up right
He's
away.
working on the set
You
still,
got
he
so
said.
many good jokes.
I think I'm going to bring a refrigerator on the set and do stand-up. And I open it every time with another line.
I'm interested in the ledger because, yes, they will not let me withdraw my money, and it's finally going up, but they can't, won't let you take it out.
You can't take any of it out on
I can
Gemini
take some
right
of it
now?
out.
You talk
Take
to-
out what you can.
I can take out some of it.
Call our friend, Mr. Gemini.
I'm going to ask Teddy
Yeah,
about
no,
that.
no,
Teddy,
no,
you still
call
talk
our
to
friend.
him?
We're getting to the bottom.
Mr. Huddle On. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get a hold of him. Otherwise, I'm going to have to Google some messages. I'm going to tell you, that stuff works, man. I went to a store, and they promised me a cup of coffee. I'm not going to tell you the store. And they put sugar in it. And I says, I can't drink that well. You have to buy another one.
No.
I said, what do you mean I got to buy another one? No, this is in the boonies, yeah. I ain't buying no other one. I'm not drinking this one. So he goes to me, you got to buy another one.
You
and
have
all-
Gemini?
Get out. So the bottom line is I told the guy, okay, I'm gonna go on Google and I'm gonna put in your location, your lot number, and what a junkie service manager you are. I got my coffee.
Don't you ever feel like you're a crotchety
A what?
man when you, I'm going to leave the other word out, when you complain all the time to people?
I'm not complaining. If I pay you something, Lynn is offering me that microphone, and I pay him $100 and he gives me the mic, and the mic doesn't work. In New York, they used to sell phones in packages on the highway. You ever saw this? There was nothing but rocks in them. And I told my brother, don't. And he did, and it didn't work. It had rocks in it. Shouldn't you get your money back?
Yeah, but don't you ever get tired of fighting with people over things?
They could keep the interest. Just give me my principal back.
And I can't believe you're a certified financial advisor. Like Lynn, it blows me away because you also help people self-publish books. Small books, any kind of book?
I've been specializing in people sharing their life purpose story. So, and I encourage people to write smaller books. Like if somebody has a big book.
A small book?
Like a 100-page book.
Okay.
Like a small book, like this. A 100-page book that you could sit down and read in a couple of hours. So
Do you help write it?
No, I help them get really clear what their message is and what they want to write about. And then I walk them through the writing process till they get to what I call phase 1, which is gathering all the information, having the skeleton of their book complete and the chapter complete. And then phase 2 is the actual writing. So that's something that they may do or they may hire a ghostwriter to do.
Yeah, sure. Right. All right, so I have to ask you, what is your life's purpose?
I'm here to share love. I'm really here to serve God. And I serve God by serving humans. And I serve humans in a lot of different ways. Through my art, through my coaching, through sharing breathing techniques and meditation with people, through stand-up.
You try to remove all the anxiety, correct?
Remove all the anxiety?
People right now, this is a world of anxiety.
I don't know if we could remove all the anxiety. We would have to get off the planet because if there's people suffering on the planet, then that anxiety is in me also.
Can't we send those people to another planet? Isn't it easier?
Get a space ride.
Josh is
so
going
one-way
up.
ticket north.
He is going up.
I don't think that's going to be the plan. I think the way out is in.
Which means we're going into the earth?
No, into each other. Into yourself. And thank you, yes. And also through each other. Because every time I get triggered by you, it's something inside of me I haven't resolved. So.
Oh, man, I got a lot of triggers.
Yeah, but some of us are guns and some of us are machine guns.
I sat at dinner the other night and I got triggered by a man on his walker and a woman who could barely walk. And I finally said to my friends, I got to go home and do laundry. Because I could see so much sadness and so much angst and pain.
What's
in
on
these
the
people.
menu? Dawn, you go to dinner, look at the menu.
Let me tell you about the menu. These QR code situations on a menu. Give me a piece of paper with a menu.
I tell you.
The QR code thing, and then you got to scroll down your phone, and then it goes to the different pages, and then you want to go back to the salads, but you're on the entrees. And
I'm going to give you a hint. When you go to a QR code restaurant, and the waiter comes over and says, okay, what would you eat? Give me your best salad, give me your best entree, what would you eat? I do it all the time. I'm not going to QR code.
And this menu had 2 QR codes, so if you scanned the wrong one, you got to refresh your phone, and then you say, what do you want? And you're still trying to find the QR code.
I want to eat the QR code.
I was like done before dinner started.
I think you got another stand-up
But go back
comic
to your
there.
triggers, though. What triggered you about the people who couldn't walk?
I think there's so much noise on the news, and there's medical commercials, and there's don't take this if you're allergic to blah, 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 and you could have this. And so there's so much pain on the news. We're being fed by the media so much negativity, even though we don't realize it until you stop and think about it. We're being fed by negative noise and pain and medication. And then I see this family trying to bring their dad in with the walker, and they couldn't sit by the table. And you know, the daughter's thinking, oh, dad's fine. And I'm feeling this man saying, I'm just trying to make it through dinner with my family. And they're trying to put the walker someplace and get him comfortable. And I just felt so much pain for these people because they were trying to be, because I know what it's like when you take your parents out for dinner, you try to feel like this is a normal dinner. And it's normal, but it's not normal. And you're trying to pretend none of this stuff is happening, but yet it is. So
well, you're a whole lot of fun at dinner.
I need another. That's why they.
So you went home and you did laundry?
I went home and did laundry.
Makes sense. Total.
Because
so the
it was
trigger
brainless.
Made her wash clothes.
I went home.
That's
I turned on American Idol and did laundry.
Oh, there you go.
Because
That's
there
another
was,
trigger.
There was no pain in
Simon
that.
Cowell is a trigger in itself.
It was just painless, but I feel, and Lynn understands, I feel people's pain.
Yeah.
And when you see so much pain, and I was thinking of you, thinking at least you're on the
Don't
happiest.
think of me.
You
Don't
were on
think
the
of me.
happiest place on earth.
I was, and I didn't see. I had a 3-year-old girl explain a parade to me.
But that's a better
But there
place
was
to
people
be.
with walkers, there was people with illnesses, there were people with bandages and everything else.
But they were happy, right?
I don't know what they were doing. I wasn't paying attention to that. I like the castle. I like the fireworks. I like the rides. I'm trying to figure out how do I get all the way across the park. I'm not going to go to dinner and worry about all of that. What's the matter with you? No wonder why you have triggers. Oh, let's go to dinner so I can trigger and then let me go home and wash clothes.
It was like I had to go do laundry because it was just a brainless kind of Sunday night. I know.
You got to take a pill or something.
I bring in my help here. All right, so before we go to commercial, Lynn, what is your purpose in life?
My purpose is all about helping people discover the truth of who they are.
Even if it's, you have
Even
to be
if I'm
brutally
nuts.
honest?
Yes. Well, most of us don't know our truth because we have been papered over so many times by beliefs that don't serve us, identities that aren't really us, expectations of other people like our parents and our family, and then all these labels on identities and everything else we put on ourselves. And people say, well, how can I live an authentic life? Well, first thing I do is figure out who you are. And then once you do that, then you say, oh, that's who I am. Well, I'm going to be me because that's the only thing I can be and actually be happy and not feel like I'm performing like a dancing monkey out there in the world.
Ground zero.
True.
Back in the day, they used to call it ground zero. In other words, you got to go in with nothing before, nothing after, and then have a conversation with people at ground zero. Hardest thing to do in life is to achieve ground zero, because before you talk to people about finding out about them, damn, you better look in that mirror and find out about you. Because you're going to give off, and it turns people off sometimes telling them the truth. That's why I asked you that question. Sometimes people get a little bit, what do you mean? Who are you to tell me? And here we go.
See, I feel badly. When I did that to you when I first met you, he was very happy in the radio room. It was a dark room.
I'm happy now.
It was this big. And I yelled at him and I said, there is so much more to you
but it wasn't what
than
you said.
a man in a dark room.
It wasn't what you said. You yelled at me. You see, when you yell at me, then all the
And I had
defense
just met
mechanisms
him
go
and I
out.
thought, who am I to be yelling at you to
Yeah,
change
who
your life
are you?
purpose?
It wasn't only you. Your daughter also yelled at me. Your mom
But
yelled
you're going
at
to tell
me.
him to change his life
My
purpose.
son yelled at me.
Because I just saw so much of this in you and you sat in this room with the lights off.
You know, it's funny. Sometimes you got to do the opposite to get a reaction from people. And it worked.
Did anyone ever tell you that?
My father told me that. 4 years I asked her to come and work with me, and she told me no. So now she's going to yell at me. She's here, and she's going to yell at me. I'm sitting there going, 4 years for what?
Wise choices. But did I change your life purpose? Did I do something that you were
Why
not
do
wanting
you
to
even
do?
question that? You did you. I
did
listened,
me.
and look, I'm very happy. I'm
And
in my
here we are.
own magic kingdom.
And now Baxton's dressed like you.
No, he dresses like him.
No.
No, he dresses like him. Don't say he dresses like me. Then you take away his shine. It is him. He's here. He wants to make his mark. He wants to be on stage. I'm going to give him every opportunity I can. As long as Josh is playing that musical instrument, everybody has their own calling.
I think we got another commercial and another song when we come back.
Let's see if we can get another.
Let us know what your life purpose is. Give us a call, 888-994-4994. We're with Zaina and Lynn and Karina and our brew crew, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
Stephanie Jaffe is a world-renowned artist who creates one-of-a-kind pieces. Using a keen sense of color and composition, her vibrant collages and mosaics integrate eclectic elements such as vintage keepsakes and fine china with blown glass and fired clay to create whimsical arrangements. For more information about her work, come down to the Brooklyn Cafe TV studio or go to StephanieJaffeArt.com.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently, and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? We can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents or having to waste time showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your house to foreclosure. If you have equity in your home, we'll buy your home and give you cash within days. all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call now before your situation gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just need anymore and get the cash you need today. Call this number now.
Call 855-348-5925. That's 855-348-5925. Again, 855-348-5925.
Tax audits, tax liens, wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives.
I'm a divorced single mom, and my ex-husband left me and the kids with a lot of unpaid bills, including unpaid taxes. I was really starting to show my stress on my kids because the IRS had sent me a letter demanding a huge payment from me. I couldn't afford it. So then the IRS was threatening to garnish my wages. I'm already living paycheck to paycheck. That would have put me over the edge financially.
It truly seemed hopeless, but then a friend at work told her to call the tax relief line.
The people at the tax relief line, they told me about something called innocent spouse relief. They worked it out so that all of the taxes from my ex are not my problem. I don't know how that works, and I don't care. All I care about is that I don't owe the IRS a dime, and they are not going to take my paycheck.
Even if it seems hopeless, you should call the number on your screen right now. There is absolutely no cost for the call or the consultation. You are under no obligation. If you are worried that the IRS could garnish your wages, seize your assets, even take your home, call us right now. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. It's very easy to get started. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.
If you served in the Marine Corps, by now you know about the contaminated water problem at Camp Lejeune. If you were stationed or worked at Camp Lejeune from 1953 to 1987, you probably have a lot of questions. We have some answers. You could be entitled to compensation. Billions of dollars are being allocated to pay for damages to anyone stationed at Camp Lejeune during that time. Unfortunately, it appears that officials may have known the contaminated water problem existed and did little to protect their men. The Semper Fi code was not honored. If you or someone in your family has developed a serious illness, including various forms of cancer, call this Camp Lejeune legal support line right now. You can't turn back the clock and change what happened, but you can certainly call right now and learn your rights as a Marine. Here's the number.
Call 855-993-2180. That's 855-993-2180. Again, 855-993-2180.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
remorse, despair. She is the constant, me who don't care. And you wonder will I leave her, but how? I cross over borders, but I'm still there now. Happy Mardi Gras from the Brooklyn Cafe, and may this day and this song hopefully bring you some form of enjoyment. How can I leave? Where would I start? Let man's petty nations tear themselves apart. My land's only borders lie around my heart.
Happy Mardi Gras! I gotta tell you something. I can't see a damn thing.
You are such a good sport. 'Cause you
I
had
can't
no
hear
idea.
either. What? Like they say, Happy Mardi Gras.
You are hilarious.
I'm gonna tell you, I always wanted to do stand-up, but I do it sitting down.
You should absolutely do a set.
What I do with my water?
You got 2 mugs there, so it's got to be. Oh, you don't. I don't
It's
know.
over there.
I don't know. Bailey's
Next to
eating all
Bailey,
that crab
the
dip.
eating crabber.
Bailey.
Hey, Bailey can eat.
How
I'm
was
gonna
that
tell you
crab dip? How were those chips?
Save some for me.
And there it is. The singer's about to eat.
Never seen anything quite like that. Baxton, what was that song from?
Chess.
Chess. I've never seen that show.
Why?
Chess.
I've never seen a chess either. That's
Ever
why I
seen
got
the
my
show
beads.
Chess? I've never seen it either.
Where is it? Regular TV? Netflix?
Do we get
It's a
camera?
Broadway show.
Oh.
Do we get camera 4 on so people can see
Abraham?
G-Man's head? He's got to get a smaller
We're
head
like
because
just
he
getting
got
over
a big.
Valentine's
the head is
Day,
too
and
small.
we're already moving on to Mardi Gras. All right, so let's talk to Zaina and Lynn a little bit more. People can contact you for financial planning. They can contact you for crypto education.
Yes.
They can contact you to self-publish. Yes. What's one of the most memorable self-published books you've worked with that really stands out?
There's a young woman who's writing her memoir right now. She was left in an immigration center, like by mistake, and she was there for 4 months. And she had all her dreams come true in there. Like everything on her vision board that she had put on her vision board happened in that detention center. And she shares about, turning tragedy into a blessing.
Her vision board was in her detention center?
Well, not her vision board, but for example, she had it on there to be teaching yoga every day. So she ends up teaching yoga every day in the detention center.
Wow.
She had it to be a full-time interpreter in this. She had this whole idea of doing this interpretation business. She ended up interpreting for hundreds of women while she was in there because she's an attorney. So she got to be so fulfilled while she was in jail or detention center, happier than she's ever been.
Wow.
And she really wants to. She really wanted to share her story. One, to have the women's stories be heard, and to share about this situation going on with these immigration centers that detain people that shouldn't be in there. And she got to share her her experience, and I tell her how you turn lemons into margaritas, girl.
That's amazing, Lynn. That sounds like someone you should definitely interview.
I have an immigration story.
Okay.
Can I share?
Yeah.
So my immigration story was I had a green card, and I was living in Turks and Caicos, and I came in one time, and I forgot my card, and I said, I forgot my card. What am I supposed to do? And they said, well, you have to fill in the paperwork, the visiting. And I went, oh, okay. So I filled that in, and then I left. I went back to Turks, 'cause that's where I was living, and then I came back a second time, and they pulled me out of the line, and they took me to the back, and I'm thinking, what did I do? And they said, you know, you were supposed to leave. You're not allowed to be here longer than, I think it's 3 months, 6 months. And I thought, I'm coming in, so obviously I must have left.
Right.
So what's the big deal? And, you know, they started doing the whole, you know, getting tough on me, and I thought, all right, Karina, you know how to play this game. And I went, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that. I'm so sorry. And you know what he says to me? Bongbini, kontabay.
What's that mean?
Which is welcome, how are you? In my language, papiamento in Aruba. And he just wanted to scare me. And I thought...
He did that on purpose?
Yeah.
I thought it was Bank of America all over.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so I had to do the whole, hey, you speak my language?
I would have taken my shoe off and hit him over the head.
Yeah, this is immigration. They can keep me back there forever.
I went to Europe, traveled all of Europe. I went to the UK, traveled all the UK. On the way home, they pulled us over. And they take us to Scotland Yard. Scotland Yard, right? UK?
Yes.
And I said, why am I here? I'm going to miss my flight. Well, your friend's passport is not signed. So I said, well, take him. Oh, no, you're an accomplice. Accomplice to what? What did we rob a bank? What did we do? That's a federal offense if you don't sign your passport.
Why is that your problem?
Because I was with the numbskull. This is the same guy.
Your wife too?
No, it's just me, him, and another guy, Carlos Mendes. This is the same guy that when we flew over to the UK, we were sitting in first class. You ever gone to UK? You ever gone to Europe in first class? They give you too much to drink. This guy threw up all over the bathroom. So the lady comes over and gives me all these handy wipes. I said, I'm sorry, why your friend threw up in the bathroom, you gotta go clean it. I said, I'm gonna tell you something, honey, you got a better chance of watching Santa Claus on this plane than me going in there and cleaning that bathroom.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me off the plane. I had to pay for them to come and clean it.
You live some life, man.
I'm going to tell you something. It's like Bank of America. You give me your money, they won't give it back.
Don't give it back. Everyone's taking your money.
I've definitely had many encounters with immigration because, again, I'm traveling from Aruba. Aruba is that gateway between Colombia and the U.S., meaning drugs. So, and because I came to
So
school
why do
here.
you keep doing it if you know
Well,
that?
I came to college. I was here on a student visa. So I'd go home, you know, come bring my stuff back because I was living in a dorm. And every time I'd come, they would, again, pull me out, take your boots off, take your hat off. I mean, you know, and I finally said, why you keep stopping me? And they said, you fit the profile. Single girl, coming in and out.
You look like a profile.
I fit the profile of a drug smuggler.
Have you ever written a book?
About that?
About anything?
Well, I got 2 books. I have one that actually is about how to publish a book and create your legacy. And I just created one called Prayer Treatments for Your Health, Wealth, Joy, and Happiness.
Did you ever smuggle anything in that you didn't declare? Little contraband, not contraband, but something.
Like jewelry?
Cuban cigars.
Everybody has,
I came
right?
with a whole pack. I mean, they say, you know, take the club, you know, change it and make it. I walked in with a whole pack of Cuban cigar because my friend loved Cuban cigars, and we can get Cuban
It's
cigars
not
in
smuggling
Aruba.
if you buy it and
You're
bring
supposed
it.
to declare it because you got to pay taxes.
No, you're not allowed to bring it. Well, you
You're
couldn't.
not allowed to bring Cuban
you
cigars
couldn't bring
in, for
Cuban
sure.
cigars.
I came in, no, Cuban cigars that's a federal offense. I came in from Greece. We went on a honeymoon. It was Michelle and I. And she had a golf cart of stuff. I bought statues and rugs and all sorts of stuff. She says, I got this. Don't worry about it. And I noticed that Michelle didn't have a lot of clothing on that day. It must have been like very hot because all of a sudden she was walking this walk. And I had a jacket. And on my jacket, there was a little white powder, like dirt or dust or something, right? So the cop says to her, oh, you have anything to declare? Nope. Now she has a cart. Nothing at all. This is all mine. Okay, go through.
Rugs and statues.
Yeah. I had an Athena, cost me money. It was beautiful. Mr. Santori, come here. What is that on your jacket? So they get the dogs. The dog starts to sneeze. I said, see, it's there. Oh, no, we have to take you to the back room. They take me to the back room.
Seriously?
They took off all my clothes.
Again, you have no clothes on.
I got no clothes on. And I'm like,
Twice now.
I'm
Again.
sitting there. Now, I can't rat my wife out, right? Because if I do that, they're going to say,
After
you
your
got
honeymoon, yeah.
And she's outside saying, where the hell is this guy? And it took me an hour to explain to them it must be dust. I don't know what it is.
And she got the rug and the statue and everything
She's
else.
outside, hailing a cab, ready to go home. I'm going to jail. It must be Bank of America again.
Again, they're always taking your clothes off.
I never see anything like this. And I mean, you can't walk through an airport without being, you look at a person sideways. I can imagine going with him.
Oh, forget
I'm
it.
going to jail.
Forget it.
Oh,
Go to the
I'm
airport
going.
with you?
I tell you,
You get stopped too, I'm sure.
I'm going
all
to
the
jail.
time.
All the time.
My whole family, we got a red card on the, anytime we go on the airports and things like that, they shake us down because of something that happened at the border.
They shook my son down at Epcot at the gate. They said he looked suspicious.
Oh my goodness.
Epcot.
He does look suspicious.
Epcot.
He looks like a
The
smuggling
next senator
suspicious.
of the state of Florida, my son, and he says, "Are you racially profiling me at Epcot of all places?" Well, you look the part. He goes, "Look the part of what? Here's my mother. Here's my sister. Here's my father." Yeah. And they stopped him at Epcot.
Of course. I would stop him at the gas station. I went to
My
Mexico.
son.
I went to Mexico. I took 100 bowlers. We were in the bowling league, and everybody went to the same Mexico, right? So Frankie, Mimi's husband, is online, and they pull him out of the line. Now Frankie's a fighter. Oh, you're gonna pull me out, punching that. So I said to the cop, I said, do me a favor, take him to the back room. If we never see him again, that's okay too. I wasn't gonna go. And then, no, Mr. Santori, you have to come with us. Again, what is this, guilty by association?
Did you take your clothes off again?
No, they took his clothes off.
Why is everyone taking their clothes
Because
off?
they thought he was smuggling stuff, and they want to see if you have a little contraband. I told him, grab his ankles. Go look.
They're getting cozy back there.
What do you think?
You're still working and Josh is going to sleep. He's done his 140.
Josh has one drink and he's done. Unbelievable.
How many shots did you have,
now,
Josh?
KO'd.
He had 4.
Now, have you ever gone
You're
on
only
a
one
trip?
up on me.
Have you ever gone on a trip and they take you out of the line for any reason?
You're going to laugh,
Yeah,
yes.
they what? For
We were
what?
in Israel. They asked me what was in my bag. I told them a Torah.
A toy?
Torah.
Or a Torah?
And they were yes, Katie, Judaism. I'm bringing a Torah back from Israel to here. What could they do? Well, they look in my bag and they got to let me go through. I said, okay.
At Tampa.
Me, I get pulled over for a Torah. He gets pulled over and takes his clothes off.
They
Judaism.
took off my
Katie,
clothes.
Judaism.
It's a Bank of America. So
Bank of America.
I'm in Tampa. You ever gone to the Tampa Bay airport? You ever seen the airport? The Marriott Hotel is there. I used to stay there 4 or 5 times a month, right? So I knew all the guards, the TDA. I knew all of them. So they once said to me, do you want to laugh? I go, yeah. He says, come here. So they put me around, and they showed the x-rays of things that come through the hand baggage. And there's a lot of interesting stuff in the handbag. There's toys, there's batteries, there's lighters. There's all sorts of stuff going on, and they got to pull out the lighters. So I kept pointing at the thing. I said, well, you missed this, and you missed that. He says to me, Santori, if we do that, we'll be here all day.
All day.
I said, that could be a magical gun, that toy.
All day. Oh, you have a story?
Go ahead, sure.
My boyfriend had the dreaded experience. We were going through airport security to travel to Europe, so they have to, really check it out. And he brings his Theragun onto the thing, and it goes through the X-ray and it starts buzzing. And I'm in a different line, so they don't know I'm with him. And it's loud, too, because it's one of the big Theraguns. And the TSA agent's face lit up.
What's a Theragun?
It's like the massage guns.
Oh, jeez. Looks like a machine gun.
But it's a big vibrating thing in his little computer bag, and it's loud. And the TSA's agent's face lit up. You could tell he was waiting for this his whole life. And he smiled at my boyfriend. He goes, sir, we got to check your bag. And my boyfriend, knowing that you can't say the word gun in an airport, is trying to explain that it's my massage gun without saying the word gun. So he keeps saying, it's my massager. It's my whatever. And his mom is behind him because we all went to Europe together. His mom, whose English is her second language and doesn't understand intricacies, goes, it's his vibrator from across the airport.
You got little moms.
When I see him, I say, Mr. Vibrator, how are you?
And if you ever met Teddy's boyfriend, he's 7 feet, and he's like, he's a big guy. Imagine his mother saying, "It's my son's vibrator."
Oh, she like screamed it across because she was in the lane. I was with his parents. He was in a different lane because he was like pre-check or something at the time, and she screamed it across TSA. It was
That's
incredible. That's my story.
I'd ask Josh his story, but he's apparently passed out over there on the next.
Josh don't have a story.
Chelsea, what's up with him?
He's unconscious.
KO'd.
Huh?
KO'd.
You sound like Katie, what?
You guys are hilarious. Lynn, what do you have coming up next on the editor's desk this week?
So this week we have Dr. Watson Jordan, who is going to share his story of a father's perspective on grief, the grief of losing a child at the age of about 2 months. And we had to postpone him from about a month ago. And so we're really looking for, it's a great book. It's called Mine, Yours, and Ours. And it looks at grief from a couple's grief from the perspective of the man's perspective, the woman's perspective, and the couple's perspective on the loss of a child. So it should be really interesting to have that discussion with him.
You should come in, Dana.
Yeah, I may. It's next Friday?
Thursday.
This Thursday.
Next Thursday.
It's remote. He's remote. He lives up in North Carolina.
I'd love to meet him.
But so yeah, I try to get these people down here, but it's not always easy.
And you shared a little bit of your story about. Can I share?
I did. Yeah, we can share. I mean, I gave birth to my son April 15th last year, and he passed away when he was born. I actually wrote, after like it happened, I wrote the birth story because not only for me, but for any woman, when you give birth, it's almost like, you have a bump and then you come out with the baby, but nobody's like, what happened? Like, tell us what happened. We want it, So the story of my birth was so special. So I wrote it and I published a book called Super Soul because my son taught me context. At first I was upset, but then I was like, you know what? This soul is a super soul. I mean, he only had to come in here for like a second. He had to dip his toes, burn some karma, and get the heck out. Like, he must be like a super big soul. But then I was sitting meditating. I'm like, holy minute, if my son is a super soul, then I'm a super soul. You're a super soul. We're all super souls. So that's what the book is about. But yeah, it's still recent, and I go through waves. Like, grief is it comes in waves, but having the perception of everything happens for my soul to grow is what has me. I tell people, be happy while being sad. Be grateful while grieving. It can coexist. Right?
But how did you get through that? Just because of who you are?
I think my life set me up for that. I've been teaching this my whole life. Make lemons out of lemonade. You have a soul purpose. And when it happened, I was like, God, really? I got to work through this one? Come on. I want my son.
It is part of your message to help others who went through the same thing. So we all have our little tidbits that we have to
It
do
is.
our
It
part.
makes me a new resource on the planet now. So
a calling that you never knew you had.
Yes. What was different this time, though, is I have a habit. I go right to gratitude. Let's find the blessings. It's not always like that. So this time, it had me slow down. I secluded myself a little bit for a few months. I was planning on, having a baby and breastfeeding and doing the whole 40 days with my baby thing. So I did it with me and God. And it had me slow down. It had me feel my feelings, and not avoid them. And meanwhile, I've been writing, I have a book started called Noor's Blessings, and I've been writing down all the blessings that have come out of it. Me and my boyfriend, we've been together for 10 years. This is the closest we've ever been. It's just so, yeah. But we can keep sharing about this. I think that's a whole other conversation.
Because I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank
When
you.
you shared it
Very
on
sorry for your
Thursday, and
loss.
Louise said, can I give you a hug? And I thought, oh my gosh, you just came out with this rawness of what happened. And here you are talking about helping people publish, and you're doing henna and all these joyful things in the middle of the show. And and then it's like this bomb hits, and no one knows how to react to something like that, because it's not as if it's an aging parent. It's not as if you've watched sickness. This was a normal, healthy baby boy that was not expected at all for this to happen. But yet here you are sharing this rawness and this grief, and you've got blessings to share with it, which I think is another one of your soul's purpose on how you help other women and men get through grief.
Yes. I'm a new resource. I didn't have this before. People are sending me people they wouldn't send me before because I didn't know how to deal with loss and grief. I've never had it, like that. Something
And now
happened.
you teach it.
Well,
Which
now
is
I get to just go through it myself and then be somebody who can relate to that happening to somebody. That's really the only credentials I have in this area is I experienced it, and that's all we need. That's all we need to help others.
And one of the things that I think we misunderstand about this idea of healing from our pain and our wounding is that we think that healing means the pain goes away. The healing doesn't necessarily make the pain go away. It makes the state of feeling stuck go away. And because it's okay for the pain to exist, as long as we don't turn the pain into suffering. So if we overthink our pain, it becomes suffering, and that becomes torture to ourselves. But if we keep just enough of the pain, then we become the context for other people who have the same experience to come into our lives and feel safe to be able to deal with their pain however they choose to do it. And so whatever happens to us in life, it may not seem like it in the moment, but it becomes our gift later on if we're willing to go through the process
And
of
it's
it.
so interesting because people don't lead with, oh, by the way, this is my pain, I've lost this. You shared your story, and Louise says, oh my gosh, let me tell you mine.
Yes.
And then the two of you had this instant bond, but I never knew of Louise's story. I never knew of your story.
It was the first time you heard it.
Right.
Yeah.
But you seem to have opened up this safe space for people, for her at the moment, to share her story with you.
Yes.
And it's you were in the back, Freddie, so you weren't even part of this. And I'm thinking, I can't even believe what I'm seeing on a 30-minute show. What happens in between your commercial break land and what goes on before and after is almost a show in itself, because you connect people beyond the camera. It was a remarkable moment to watch us. And I said to Freddie, you just have to meet her and see what this is.
I'm just thinking about your question, like how do you go through something like that? And one of the things I've been studying for a long time is ontology, right? The study of being. And what you were saying about suffering, like the suffering, I could have suffered through this, and I could have split up with my boyfriend over this, and I could have gone into a deep depression from it. But what helps me is to be able to distinguish the story from what happened. So what happened is I had a loss. I carried a baby for 9 months, and I had a loss. But that's painful, right? That's a loss. But what's on top of that could have been, but I could have done something different to avoid it. Or I always fail at the things I try to do. Or I could have, why does this always happen to me? It's not fair that it happened. Those are layers of suffering that we can add on very easily to anything that happens. And I definitely have the awareness from years of doing this work. This is where it hits the road. Like, this is the real deal. That's where I was able to see, like, oh, I can experience pain and sadness, but I don't have to suffer in the story of my stuff, which is it's not fair, shouldn't have happened to me, all that stuff. It's not true. What happened happened.
It's funny, when Michelle was pregnant with Freddie, we had a real tough delivery. Tough. And then Gio came along, and it was easy. And then we lost the third one. And the third one we lost, we went to the doctor, and Gio was with us because he wanted to see his brother and sister. He was excited. And the doctor says, listen, the fetus is no longer gone. And it wasn't until that moment in life, and I know they laugh at me, people make fun of me, because I always said that men are jealous that we can't give birth. We can't do one thing on this planet that a woman can, and only a woman can. I don't care how much chemistry you're going to use on this thing. And that was the day that I realized, I sat down when I had lost the third child, and I came to the conclusion, I can't do what you ladies do, no matter how much I want to do it. That's what separates us, is that you can do that one thing and I can't. And I learned from that lesson that sometimes life, you get life, God gives you a gift and you get a child, healthy. Hopefully the mom is healthy because it's complicated. You know, giving birth ain't easy.
Yeah.
It is.
It's complicated. There's a lot of things going on. I know at the end of the day you take it for granted. Oh, the baby's here. Oh, let's have a party.
And that the mom is alive too,
That's
because women lose their life too.
A lot of things can go wrong giving birth. And then there's postpartum. There's all the psychological stuff. Michelle went through it. I gotta tell you, it ain't easy. And then there's the bills, and there's college, and then your kids fall in love, and then again, Bank of America. All I gotta tell you, before you gonna do this, make sure you wanna do this. Yes. But to learn the lesson of a loss, to lose a child, is horrendous. Yeah. And that hurt never goes. You replace it with learning lessons and everything else. It never goes away. But I gotta tell you, I didn't meet you till today. It's the first time I met you. And I think you're a gift. I love the energy you bring. I love the sense of humor. I love the smile. I love the way you told me how to make coffee for you in the back. I loved it. There's nothing that I would ever imagine in my life that you had such a loss and such a hardship, because you've given me light today.
Thank you.
Big difference. So from tragedy, you learn how to give quantity, I guess, which is unbelievable.
Lynn always brings such great people, and brought Karina, and he brought you in.
Y'all are amazing. Thank you for having me. You're so generous and open, and then you just have been so available to me since I've been here, like available with your hearts. So thank you.
But you're just an amazing woman, and I agree. You're a gift, and you've got so many blessings to share. But I have to ask you, what's one of the blessings or gifts that you learned from your son?
There's so many. You know, I think now when people say, can we do it later, I always say no. Like when
That's
you
a
told me,
good
can you
idea.
come tomorrow? I was like, sure.
Right.
Because there's no tomorrow.
That's a
It's
great
an
idea.
amazing gift to have
I
in
love
life,
that.
is to, let's do it now. So it's like I think we all have that when we have loss, this sense of like life is happening now, and that's still with me, and I pray that it stays with me. Another thing he gave me is what I call the shimmer. So when he first passed, I would go sit in the ocean. I would look at the sun reflecting on the ocean, and it does this shimmer.
Mm-hmm.
And one day I was sitting by myself, and I felt the shimmer right here at my heart center. And it was this strong, strong feeling. The only way I could describe it is just so much love. And I felt, I don't know if it's the love of God, I felt something, and I said, please don't let this feeling go away. And he said, it's only getting started. So I have access to something called the shimmer, and I'm gonna write more about it, but it's the mystery. Like there's this, it's one degree off, and it's right there, and it's so soft and warm and loving, and it's like, it's glitter and glam. It's like super bright. So I call it the shimmer, and I'm still exploring the shimmer. But my niece and nephew, they see it. They see it when they watch the trees tremble, like that little trembling, that's the shimmer. So the shimmer, we'll
Ever
talk
read
more.
Shel Silverstein and Where the Sidewalk Ends?
No.
Well, I'm older than you, but there's this amazing, I want to say children's book, but it's not. It's a book for everyone. It's a book of poems. And I could just see, you have to get the book, I'll get it for you. It's called Where the Sidewalk Ends, and it's a book of poems. And one is, could be The Shimmer. And it's just this beautiful, Lynn, you know the book?
I gotta look it up.
I don't.
And I'm like so not into books like you are, but I could just see a poem, like, it could be a whole book of your poetry.
The shimmer.
Of the shimmer, and all of these messages to share with people. Because sometimes our attention, especially in where we are right now, our attention spans like this. Even a 100-page book sometimes is too much for us.
Or a compilation.
Right?
Bring
A
other people
compilation
in.
of a poetry to share the messages that you've learned would be so beautiful, and to help so many women and men and families get through this with a positive note.
Coming, yes.
You're definitely a gift. Lynn, thank you again. I feel like I'm always thanking Lynn for bringing these
Thank you,
amazing
Lynn.
people in. You know, we've known Lynn for a long time, probably since you and I almost first started up at the gallery, and you came in with his men's support group. And Freddie always loved that idea, a dad's support group, because your sons were both younger at the time when we first met you. And you shared the story of raising your sons through a divorce, and you shared your story. And there was none of this connection between men. Women have this connection, whatever it is. We shop, we complain, we cry. Men, they have football. right? But there's never this inner sense of, I have this connection of let me share my feelings, this feeling circle as Katie calls it. And you brought that forward and you continue to bring it forward now across everybody, men and women in energy. So I thank you for all of that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we all, men and women, have masculine and feminine energies within us. And one of the biggest challenges that I see for men is that they fear their own feminine energy. And because they fear it, they feel the need to control it outside of themselves because it's a threat internally to them. And I really believe, and I'm not a therapist or a psychologist, but I believe that part of what causes the control, the manipulation, even some of the abuse, is because men have not made peace with their feminine aspect. And once men learn to make peace with their feminine aspect, they can reach a place of peace within themselves and become balanced. And the world that we're moving to, the old world of polarity, which was you and I, a man and a woman are completely different, and we're going to get together, but we're going to fight over the resulting product as to who gets to control it and who gets to have it. But when we move into what we'll call more of a 5D type environment where both men and women become balanced within our energies, then we'll see things like pure partnerships develop, where it's not one person trying to control the other, it's each person saying, here's what I have to bring, here's what I'm interested in, let's organize it together and create beautiful things in the world.
That's amazing.
And so that's my vision going forward.
Imagine if you
for
actually
men
gave
and for women.
a course for some of our hosts on partnership. Because it's not about who makes the most noise, right? It's not about the ego. It's who brings what they bring to the table and working together. In any relationship, not just a love romantic relationship, right? In any relationship.
Any relationship.
You respect my crazy and I respect your calmness over there.
We're so calm about it.
I'm kidding.
You gotta have fun in life. If you walk around with no fun, it's gonna be a long walk.
So thank
all I
you
gotta tell
both.
you.
Thank you all for joining us. Josh, it's been a pleasure having you join us on the show.
Thank you, Josh, for being there. He's snoring.
Katie, let me see the camera.
He's snoring.
Remember that it was served in a medicine cup. That makes it medicine. It's not a shot, it's a dose. Just remember that.
Wow. That's a meme.
And there you have it.
What they call it, a meme?
All right, so just in case you missed it, yes, it's been Fat Tuesday here at the Brooklyn Cafe Show. So Teddy, thank you for all that you've done. Our crew, you've done an amazing job. Our guests, our hosts, everything, tune in today at 3 o'clock. We've got the Metal Lifestyle Show. Lynn will still be here. Anyone else who wants to join us, the studio is always open. And until then, be safe and be kind to each other. And we'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.